Hello? Why did OBS change my mic? My mic was brokey. Kiwi in the chat. Hello? Hi everyone. Welcome to the Weebu stream Abu. I hope you guys are all having the marvelous Monday as always.
You just got coconut mauled.
No!
Share this with all your friends to totally coconut maul them.
Well, okay. Hold on. Hold on. Let me back up. Let me back up a bit. My face tracking is not working. This happens sometimes when my what's the word I'm looking for? Is that gonna gaze strength? There we go. That'll help. Anyway, this happens when I don't use any of my stuff for a while. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to put up with it. The fact that my face tracking is not working today. But also, OBS changed my mic for no reason, so that was cool. Also, I'm gonna do my best to stay in front of the microphone, I guess. Or, I'm sorry, in front of the camera to make it catch my mouth, but it might not work. I hate I hate not having my face tracking working. It looks so weird on my model now. But hi everyone. Hello, hello Breb. Hello Salty. Hello Amelia. Hello the Germanabu. Hello Kiwi. Hello Senti. Is Wibbles weaning on one day? Let's fucking whoa. Weebu, unrelated question. What's the coolest Star Wars army? Clones. No, droids. I like droids. I like droids the most. Clones are like my second favorite, but like I love droids. There's actually a tabletop game that I would love to get. That's it's Star Wars, and you can either play Civil War era or Republic era, and it's really really cool. Droids have funny personalities. Exactly, they are cool. I love droids. I love the big ships in Star Wars. Those are my like two favorite things. Everything else I kind of don't care as much about. Anyway, so we're back to streaming, and over the weekend I found this Mario 64 ROM hack called B3313. I think is the full title. I may have not put enough threes in the whatever the title of the stream. I think it's that many. Droids are like iPhones. I don't know. I never played Star Trek. It's not. Well, yeah, I found this over the weekend. I saw a video, and I wanted to start watching the video, but then like 5 minutes into the video, the guy's like, "Hey, if this sounds interesting to you as a Mario thing, don't watch this video. Experience it for yourself." So I was like, "You know what? I'll do that, Mr. Man. Thank you for the advice." So that's what we're doing, is we're gonna play this Mario ROM hack. I don't know how long it is. All I know is that it's weird and it's a bizarre ROM hack. That's all I know. And it's like got 150 stars total, I think is how many they said there were, but I don't know if that's 100%. Like, I don't know if that's like accurate to how many you need to play. So that's gonna be what we do. I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I'm sorry about the face tracking not working. I can do it so many times before I have to give up because I don't understand why it doesn't work. I can do that. Can I increase mouth sensitivity? There we go. How about that? Does that work out? Does that make me look a little bit better? All right, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try it. But yeah, you're good. You're always allowed to be in a state of constant surprise. True. Anyway, let me get this going. Holy shit, Shiabu. Yeah. There we go. It's got the funnies in it, which is different sound effects. That's a good sign. That music, just like I remember it. So long, Game Wibbles. True. Oh, hey, look. Welcome to Mario Wonderland. if you're the adventurous sort, pay a visit to the castle ahead. Holy shit, the real heavy from the real Team Fortress 2. Also, this uses the different sound effects, I guess. Is that Somnic cans? Somnic? Where's Somnic? Minor key moment, true. Also, hello Shy, hello Heavy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Weebu stream. I heard... Oh, what the hell? Is that a thing you can do? That's not a thing you can do in the normal game. Yeah, no, that's not it. Press A to fast travel. To change aspect ratio? What the fuck? Well, it's not really doing much, so. Alright, we could... Whoa! Okay. This castle is exclusive to the show. It's connected to a variety of worlds. So open the doors and get adventuring. Alright, hold on. Before we do, you can get Skimney. I know there's a... The only thing I know right now is that there's a... God, the... I forgot. This isn't like a real game. Or like, you know, this is Mario 64. The camera doesn't work the way I want it to. The show. And there's a castle courtyard back here. That was the only thing that I knew, was that this is like... I don't know if it's 100%, but I heard a thing that originally there was a castle, like you could go back here when they were first making the game, and then they took it away. I don't know how oh, hello? Yoshi? Welcome to a new adventure. There are so many worlds to visit and so little time. You must be wondering where to go first, right? Let me tell you. Let your decisions be the right path to follow. Hint, look at the sky inside the castle. If you have 10 power stars, you might see the world shift right in front of your eyes. And remember that you can switch plumbers here by pressing the L button. Can you hear the princess calling? Oh, and don't enter this cave unless you want to see your deepest fears untold. Yoshi, Yoshi, what the fuck, my brother? What the fuck, my brother in Christ, does that mean? You never knew Yoshi was in the base game. Okay, Salty, I knew Yoshi was in the base game. Yoshi normally up there. Yoshi not down here. The edibles ate shit 20 minutes later. Alright, what's the sign say? Can you hear the princess calling? Sounds like a Silent Hill line. True. I've never played Mario 64 ROM hacks. I only stuck to the Sonic fan stuff, but it's not much. That's not much either. The biggest fight in the original was with the camera. True. And you had the Super Mario call. I knew Yoshi was up there. Can you feel the sunshine? Should I waste my time in this? Okay, L button. Base time, let's go. Let's fucking go, lads. This is it. This is why we play video games. Now I'm Luigi. Cave adventure, let's go. Alright. So, this has nothing on it. Okay, hold on. Is this just to the court? Hawk that loogie. Wait, no! Okay. Oh, anyway, so Senti said earlier, I've played a couple Sonic ROM hacks, but I used to be really into Super Mario World ROM hacks. I've talked about that before, but that is one of my favorite things, was Super Mario ROM hacks. And I'd love to do those again. I feel like there could be a market for Vtubing Mario ROM hacks. Play a ton of Super Mario World ROM hacks. A million years. They do go hard. 10 years in the joint made you a fucking pussy. Peach was a real one for that. Oh, hello? If you want to feel the wind at your back, try jumping in the hole on the left. The sensation can't be beat. Okay. Can I not ground pound? Oh god, you just fucking zoomed to the ground. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da, 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 ba-ba-da-ba. This is not the fucking slide song. It's not the fucking slide song. Da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba, ba-da-bow. I gotta go this way. Oh god. Okay, we're good, we're good. Imagine jump scare al Sababu. Why Luigi scream like that? Trying to keep a chat, but it's really real hard. Why he scream like that? I really need to try out and finish all those Sonic fan games I got. I only played the D comps of 1, 2, 3, and Air. Halfway through the triple jump 16-bit. Really hard. That's fair. Okay, look, a star. Oh yeah, has that triple jump. Yeah! We got a star, guys. Okay, where am I? New question. You've recovered one of the stolen power stars. Okay, but why am I here? Where the hell am I? This wasn't where I left. Do I go in the Bowser door? Detroit. What the fuck? Alright. This castle is exclusive to the show. It's connected to a variety of worlds. So open the doors and go ahead and get a bit. No, I did. Yeah, I'm. What the hell? Welcome to the Pleasant Falls. Our place to relax after so many battles. This mountain hides many secrets. I wish I was able to climb it. All right, what about you? Are you a bully? Oh, wow, you look mad. You look angry, guys. I'm just gonna get out of here. Oh, come on. What even is the show? I don't know. This is kind of this is a trip so far. I want to get, there we go. Ow. Hey, go away. Trip made this game wild. The motherfucking Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Oh, he's still following me. All right, what's in here? More coins. Uh-oh. All right. Okay, well. Did I miss something? Why is he screaming like Tom from Tom and Jerry? Well, if this is using the beta, and I fell for hours. Is that a motherfucking House of Leaves reference? What am I looking for? Anyway, if this is using the beta sounds, the thing that I know about that is that the devs used the Tom and Jerry scream, or just noises, for Mario before they had a voice actor. So, they say climb the mountain. I know they said climb the mountain. I was seeing if there was an easier star to grab. Climb the mountain. I will climb the mountain. Uh-oh, I gotta go. Sorry, Bucko. It was rigged from the start. What's my... There we go. That's my Z button. Get in the robot, Shinji. Jump. Jump. There we go. All right, we're climbing the mountain this way. What's this? Cannon. All right. This will help us climb Dumb Mountain. That did not help me climb Dumb Mountain. Okay, kind of did. That was called a parkour move chat. Don't do that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was actually also intentional, I promise. Hey, star. All right, cool. What? Why'd the music go scary? Why is the castle darker? What's that? Okay. Weebu Master Gamer, true. Oh, okay, so that was that area. Every copy of this game is personalized real. Okay, what about this one? Oh, hey, it's the Womp Fortress. What, is that no. I was like, is that a star already? Why do Womp look like that? Are these like the right coins? Guys, I feel like there's something maybe wacky. It's frame-shaped. I feel like there's maybe something wacky going on with this game, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Oh God, I don't like your face. I don't like you clipping into the ground either. Why are their eyes red? Why they gotta look evil like that? There's another one. Okay, we're good, we're good. Planned. Holy yims. Alright, that's 5. Oh, there's another one over there. Okay, so I can get to the top also. I don't like the big black holes. I don't like these. I'm in here. Is this jail? Am I in jail? What the fuck is this? Are these the last 2? Wait. This is a whole separate set? What the fuck is happening? Why is Bowser in the sky? Okay. Where am I? Am I in hell? I feel like I'm in hell. Why is it like this? Luigi goes to fucking hell, real. Okay, we're going here. Castle de Demonas. What, the Demonas? I don't know how to say that. Alright, this is another level that we're in. Weebu. I am! I keep spawning in different parts of the castle. And I keep finding different levels that aren't anywhere where I was. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get wombo combo. Oh, good. A star. All right, neat. I got a star. I did it. I did it, chat. You've recovered 3 of the power stars. Oh, thanks, game. All right, back this way. Okay, so that was a level. There's so many ways to go. Oh, hey. Okay, we're going. New adventures and new worlds. Will you play the game or will the game play you? What does that mean? What does that mean, chat? What the hell is this game on? Go in. All right, cool. Means gay. Good. What the hell? What is? Oh, it's a statue. I was like, what is that? So cannons make you fly. Hello? Is this a star? Those are coins. It's another big statue. Oh, they're so big! Oh, it's a maze. It's a maze. Can I get money? Okay. Is this the start of the maze? It is. Okay, those are walls. Weebu has crypto scam. No! I've been pranked. What? Why did that one have a star? And where did the star go? I got it. I did it, chat. I don't know what I did, but I did it. This feels like someone said like it's dreamlike, and that definitely has the feeling of I'm just playing a dream. Okay, what's? I'm guessing that's a level. This one has a cross. There's a way this way too? The castle too big. Okay, is this something I can go in? No. How big? Like, how big is it? How much can I just explore? And is it worth exploring? I know I need like at least 10. They gave me. God, there's so many Bowser pictures. What about this way? I don't want to go in the shadow pipe. I don't. Why is it such a long? Why is the picture crooked? I'm like on edge. I'm on edge and I don't want to be. I don't think it's that complicated. He appears. Okay, that's a boo. What? What? That boo had a Mario mustache. Okay, that's nothing. That's a door. This is a bigger door. In the castle. What's the point? I'm more at a loss right now. Can I go in this picture? No, I can't. All right. I guess back out. Nothing I can do in there. Oh, this way. What is happening? It's the Geno song. Am I in a loop? LMAO. So there's like a restaurant in Japan that's having a collab with Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you get a promo pack and it tells either the first appearance monster or one of the protagonist monsters. And someone pulled an elemental hero Neo 7 times. That sucks. Shh, please walk quietly in the hallway. Am I going through a loop? Is the game pulling a... No, I'm not. The sound effects are like gone. That's just a little spot. What about in here? Big door. Hey. Nighttime room. What? Good thing you picked this way, but what can you expect at the other side of the door? I don't know. I didn't know this was a door. Do I go in the small door? The big? Can I go in there? Is this a painting? That was a painting. Okay. Tick-tock, not tick-tock clock. Doesn't tell me. Cool. This level has no name. Very awesome. Oh, I saw a message in my group chat from one of my friends, seeing what they were talking about. Hello? Uh-oh. I forgot triple jumping does that. So this is tick-tock clock, right? It's at least using tick-tock clock stuff. Am I gonna have to walk all the way back here from that one part of the castle? Did I do it? How cool. Hello? Is that all that's here? Yeah, I guess so. This way? I don't want to, hang on, before I jump down. Can I get up there? Yeah, it's dummy. Is there even a star to collect in this level? And I don't see anywhere else to go. A fake wall? Yeah, you're the only thing. Okay. You're the only thing I can think of. Nope, that's a coin. You're an enemy. This is a dead level? The level design is interesting. It is interesting. It feels incomplete, and I think that was the goal they're going for. I would assume that's what they're going for, because it's all the elements and stuff are based off of like the beta. So I would assume that they wanted it to feel like just tons and tons of stuff. Okay, well, you respawn. I'm mostly, I don't know, do I leave the level? Obviously, I passed a ton of levels on the way here. It's not like, you know, I have to get a star here. But I'd rather leave the level. Alright. I'd rather leave the level by getting a star rather than not. But I can't wall jump up here. I'm trying to. Wait, what? What? I'm back here. Girl's so fine playing Mario games. She's making me make sound effects like Tom and Jerry. It wasn't a glitch. That was a teleport. But why was there a teleport there? Success? Question mark? Hold on. Before we go that way again, let me I want to try going back to the, not here. Oh, that's a level painting. It's an arrow, sure. When am I going to face the Eldritch Horror Cave, Yoshi? I don't know. Left or right, it's up to you. Make good use of the C button to move, but quickly. God, I don't like the lava here. This sucks. So the star's just right there. So just grab it, I guess. What happened? What happened? That scared me. What happened? They tricked me. I went to the blue world. I don't want to be in the blue world. Hi, Benjamin. What's up, buddy? What's up, bubbies? Uh-oh. We're fine. We're fine. I might need to get Benjamin off my desk here in a second. But other than that, we're good right now. Where's War Criminal Trip? Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Bubby. I love you so much. I love you so much. Trip's in his little bed. He's just sleeping. He eating. Alright, if I miss, I can just do that. Alright. don't like the big walkway of nothing. Oh yeah, that cat I showed you has been hanging out over there. How's someone sleeping? Aww, what a cutie. Was that a star? Or was that a coin? Can that be? Can I get that, please? Okay, we got a star. All right, 4 more stars, and then we can go to the one spot. Now I want to go downstairs. That's what I want to see. The cat lottery has blessed me, but Mom doesn't want cats. That's so sad. That way. I wanted to see if there was another door down here. No, there's not. This goes back out to the castle yard, which I don't want to do yet. I don't want to face eldritch horrors beyond my comprehension. But that Jolly Roger Bay, that's what I think this is supposed to be. Yeah, this is the bay. Oh, it's the green cap level. Okay. Sure. No, I don't want to save. Screw you. I don't want to see the man-made horrors of Boo. So why were they star? Okay, so there are red coins. So what was I collecting in the other level? All right. It looks like all the red coins here. So I guess I need to go down that pit. Purple coins? No, they were counting up like red coins. Oh. There's a coin. Oh, there's both of them. All right, cool. Okay, so where's the star gonna spawn at? Oh, over there? I don't think this is what it's intending, but it's almost like one. Yeah, no, it's not, because there's another star. On an orange switch. What the hell is the orange switch? You've collected 100 coins. No, I'm gonna get the red star one. Wait, I have 11 stars now? When did I get 11? Okay, I guess we're gonna go do the one thing. Where's my hat? You recovered 8 of the stolen power stars. Where's my hat? How did I lose my hat? Cave of Horror. No, I gotta look up. I gotta do this. I thought he said Yoshi. I thought Yoshi said to do this. There we go. That did nothing. I didn't do anything, Yoshi. Now you take double damage because you didn't save after getting the metal cap. But wait, but where's my actual hat? Is it back in the level? This is a different level. This isn't the same level. Is the pattern still the same for this? Probably not. Oh, maybe it is. I'm gonna lose my mind if it's gonna start messing with like what level takes you where. This is the painting I want. It's not? I thought it was. I thought I went all the way to the left. Because the one next to this is the lava one. I don't need to go for air. I just need to... Come on. Come on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. God, I love fighting the camera. I love fighting the camera in this game. It's awesome. There we go. See, we're good. Wait, they spawned 2 again? Why were there 2? Drowned Luigi creepypasta. Look. So the one I walked in here is the lava one. That was 100% the painting I went in, wasn't it? This was... Yeah, I swear I went in that one. I'm gonna go in it again. Hold on. I wanna see. You see? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I did go in this one. The painting changed? It's the same door though. But was that what it meant by like it changes when you look at the sky? It changes the levels? Yeah, my hat's just gone, I guess. Because I did teleport. So, does that mess with anything else? Hold on. So I'm gonna go back. That's a speedrun tactic. Write that down. So I look up. And it doesn't change the front room. Yeah, that has, yeah. So is this spot different? All right, that was cool. I found Bowser. No text message. Ow. I didn't do that correctly at all. I didn't do that correctly at all either. I suck at throwing Bowser. I'm really bad at Bowser. It's Jack was not Jack Black. Oh, Jack Black. I'm gonna get him. Yeek! Thanks, I wanted to go back to hell. This is where I want to be. I love being in hell. What is this door? What? Wait, what? Okay, that's that, but that was outside. No, this took me to the courtyard earlier. Can we go to the peach painting? So there's like 2 castles and I can swap between them? Hold on. People draw a map. I can't! Oh, I'm just going deeper into hell now. No, it's Yoshi! Oh, red coin. What's in here? I'm gonna go in the cage one first. This looks fun. Alright. Coin. I can't jump that, can I? Yeah, there's no way I can get over that. So I need to find the hat switch so that I can activate that box, and then I can do that, I guess? What's this one? Let's go back on the main path. I don't like the big open rooms with just a single door at the end. Let me tell you, I don't like this either. I am not a fan of the fucking back rooms. Let me tell you, lads, I hate it here, I think. Is this just all a linear corridor? Is there probably a secret door here? No. Cool. My Mario doll. Wrong key. Wrong key. Let's get something on these doors. I also don't know why that made that water link. Or direction. Whatever you said. Link. I don't know why I fucked up my words. I need the blue key. I need the blue skull. I need a yellow key. So these are all nothing. And I'm literally in the back rooms. Oh, hold on. Can I make the FOV? Okay, that teleported me. fast travel back to the, okay. That's nice, actually. All right, let's zoom back in, I guess. So, we were... It's like you're the one monster away from... Wow, words are hard. It's like I'm one monster away from a Scooby-Doo chase. Where the fuck am I now? Where am I now? There's a pipe. Looks like death. I guess we go in the pipe. Oh, it's another Yoshi song. This castle is exclusive to the show. It's connected to a variety of worlds, so open doors ahead and get adventuring. Thanks, game. Before I go, is there anything behind me? Probably a door. Oh, nothing. So I'm back in the castle. I forgot who said it, but yeah, these edibles ain't shit. 20 minutes later. Oh, what's in here? Am I gonna be able to get back? Yes, my favorite level. Blocks. I did it. I'm so good at video games. Okay, so I think I'm now back in Castle 1? I'm gonna call it Castle 1 and Castle 2. Oh, thanks, Breb. So, to get from Castle 1 to Castle 2, you have to look at the sky. And everything else is the same? I assume? Can I get back to Yoshi? Yeah. I don't like how the sign does that. So, does this take me back to Castle 1? Am I back there? Hold on. Oh my god, there's a fucking door. There's no music. I'm not... Chat. 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 What's this way? What's this way? Signs have always done that. No, they haven't! I love the various versions of the Mario theme that keep getting played. I don't want to jump. I don't want to go anywhere. I think every single direction I go is full of shit, and I don't want to go in any of them. So send me to the salt mines again. That door? What about that door? Was not there before? Yeah, it was. The one I just walked in? I'm kind of curious. Alright, so what's this? More levels. So this is the basement. When you got there was only a forward door and a right door? Wait. No. What is this? What is this? Hold on. No. What the fuck? Am I back at the beginning? But that's not. But is this still the backyard? Yeah, that's still the backyard. What the hell? Imagine taking the funny gummy and playing this game. I don't think I can. Okay, so you teleported again. What the? Okay, I keep teleporting. I don't know how to start. I don't know how to begin drawing a map. That's my problem. It's not that I don't want to. I don't know how I could even begin, like, figuring out where I'm at. BRB, okay. Okay, Jai. Cool. I'm back in that. Oh! God damn it. This game's getting to me. even know I want to go in the stupid mansion. I'm still in the castle. I'm still in the castle. At least my health regens. I'm still.
You just got coconut mauled. Share this with all your friends to totally coconut maul them.
Now we've used. All right. Okay, Shy. I'll try and explain what happened. I walked in a room. I found the Boo house. I broke it, and now I'm here. I think I'm still in the castle, and now I'm fighting Bowser, but there's a door. I'm just gonna go in the door. Woo! Okay. Okay. Ow. Grab him. Grab him. Grab him. I can't see what's happening. Okay. You'll pay for this later. Congratulations. So I'm in Bowser's house, I think. Those are coins that go in the floor, so that's either a glitch or telling me to go that way. Or it's a Boo. I guess it could also be a Boo down that hallway. Oh, okay, these are all Boos. Thanks for the follow, Denzel Man. Hello, welcome to the Weebu stream. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm losing my mind slowly at this right now, but hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you very much for the follow. I don't like the. Hi, Benjamin. So I'm in a level. I'm assuming I'm in a level. That I'm not just still in the castle. Yes, hello, Bubby. I love you very much. I love you so, so much. All right. Oh, my microphone's kind of pointed away from me. My bad. Nope. Do not abuse! Okay. I don't know why I thought that was a collectible. Yeah! I hate some of these textures. Specifically his, I guess. I guess I don't like you either. I'm kind of in awe right now at how many levels I've done so far, and I know this isn't like even probably a fraction of the amount of levels in this game. Alright. Oh, that was just death. Back to hell? Oh, I ran out of lives. I'm Mario. Welcome to Mario Wonderland. If you haven't, okay. Still don't have a hat. Still don't know where my hat went. I'll go back to Luigi. Wait, no, I can do it any time. My bad. Alright, so hang on. So again, I don't know how I can draw a map, but I should be in Castle 1. So if I walk up to this part, it should take me to Bowser? Okay, no. Okay, hold on. If I walk into here, why Castle 1 and not Castle 4? I'm trying to keep these straight in my head. I think, okay, if I go in here... No, this is the courtyard. No, this is a different courtyard. Okay, I'm going to officially call this Castle 2. I think that is where I am, is Castle 2. And I think there's at least 3 castles that I'm wandering around in. And I don't know how to get back to Castle 1 without beating a level. So I'm going to try and get Bowser again. I think that's what I need to do. What? Okay, I can't jump in the painting. Alright, let's see if I don't... No, oh, no, I'm back at Castle 1. Wait. Why couldn't I fight him? Okay. So this is Castle 1, and if I turn around and I look up, this takes me to Castle 2, and I should be able to go up here and fight Bowser. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Get it? No. So I'm gonna start. You'll pay for this later. Okay. Cool. So long, Gay Jack Black. Alright, that takes me to here. And I walked up here. I did not walk up here. Great. This is what I wanted. More fucking castle to explore. Wait. Oh, wait, I know where I'm at. Okay, hold on. So if I go back this way, hang on. This should take me back to the beginning area. Yeah, okay, I'm in Castle 1. Whatever did happen to the Super Bean Star stage? The Super Bean Star stage. Isn't it funny how we went from this Fire Breathing Dragon to Bowser being comedy relief? Oh, the Superstar Saga? I never continued playing it. That was a decision I made. But I can't tell you why I made it. Okay. I don't want to do this. We're gonna go talk to Yoshi. We're gonna go confront our greatest horror, I guess. Weebu lost her save file. I didn't! It's on my Switch! I wasn't... That was around when I was, like, having, like, not wanting to do anything issues. Okay. Should I waste my time in this? Alright, chat. Alright. Yoshi Horror. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Hi, Vika. Alright, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a wuss. I'm gonna turn my music down, and I'm just gonna walk straight. I have my eyes closed. I can't see. I can't see. I'm not looking. A scared cat. I fell. Oh. Okay. What is this? I'm in the void. I don't like it. I don't like it, chat. I don't know how you can do a jump scare in Mario 64, but I'm not doubting that someone hasn't figured out how to do it. Good to see you again, old friend. I see you're escaping reality again, trying to find gold inside bricks. Are you feeling okay? You know you can always turn off this game, but both of us know that you're still trapped inside your own walls, aren't you? What? No, I'm not! I'm back at the castle? This game is about chat being stuck in my walls. Okay, that wasn't bad, but I don't know if I'm in Castle 1 still. Go to the waterfall? This is interesting. It's a Mario 64 ROM hack. So I can get back to that door. Oh, I can swim down also. We'll do that. I should be able to get in here. I can't imagine there's too many barriers to get around. I messed up my swimming also. Hold on. I feel like there should be something there since it's an exit in the actual game. Oh. So this is like where you get the invisibility cap in the normal game. Oh, I guess I'm going down. Ah! It's the castle still. It's a sunken part of this castle. Was I? No, I wasn't here. Okay, up and in here. right. You bastard! God damn it! Okay, let's try this again and not accidentally fast travel. I like this version of the song, though. It's actually really nice. Okay, so this way. This way. And hang a right at the top. Collect the coins to keep my air up. Gotta go work-a-boo. If I have fun, I will do my best, Boo. Have a good day at work, Salty. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Guessing this way. There's a nice arrow leading me to where to go. Star in the cage. And I can't get in the cage. Guess we're down. Nope, that's just the bottom. Punch it? I can try. Oh, there's something above me. Okay, I don't got enough air to... Okay, that was awesome. I don't got enough air, so I'm going to try and just go up and see where that takes me. I've got a feeling that star count isn't going to actually matter that much. Hey! Lucy later, boo. Lucy is here, boo. Hold on. Am I in? Please? Hey, alright. Fine, I had a hat for a little bit. Okay. So now I'm here. I haven't explored this area that much yet. Hold on. Like, I did, but I didn't do a ton. So I want to actually look this way. Let's see what's down this hall. One door and painting. Let's go in the number 1 door. There's probably a level. Oh no, it's the one spot from earlier. Okay, real fast. So is this how I can go between levels? No, but this is how I can get back to that Bowser section. Wait, what? What? Reaching through the power door slowly opens. Oh, okay. Okay. What's in here? I guess. It's a new song, I think. Oh, wait, no. Was I here? My brain hurts. Head hurty. Oh, okay, so here's where I went to hell. So what's beyond this door? Big room. Wait. I'm getting deja vu. Was I here? I was here. But I wasn't here. That is such a big picture of Peach. I don't know if that's supposed to be a clock. That big picture. Those are more booze. Oh! I need the cap to get to that mirror. God, there's so... I don't know where the cap is!
Can't believe Weebu is streaming the Super Mario Brothers movie. Nintendo gonna get her.
I'm not! Also, thank you for the 10 bits. I appreciate it. Alright, so... Not this way, I guess. Not until I can get the invisible cap. Is that another? Oh, I was like, what was that sound? Alright, I wanted to go with the pipe, but this is cool too. Oh, good. It took me back to this spot. Awesome. Yeah, no. I really wanted to come back here. I was dying to come back here. I didn't want to go in that pipe. This is great. This is probably the best news I've had all game. This door's locked. Whoever calmed that picture of Peach and Bowser must have really gotten big out of this castle. The AKA room? Oh, good. The door's locked. Both doors are locked. No, wait, no. Wait, no, what? Oh, great. The Bowser fight again. This is epic. This is epic trolling. I love fighting Bowser twice. Okay, what's in here real fast? I know Bowser's gonna teleport in here, but... AKA room. The L is real textures translates true. Means red room. Fun fact. I got another key. I don't understand the boo. Okay, I want to go this way, I think. Again, I don't know how to draw a map because I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I am literally just existing right now and just playing this game as best as I can. I did this. Yeah. Yeah, I went down there. Okay, we're not doing that again. Is that motherfucking McRibaboo from Wyataboo in my Chataboo? Hold on, before. Go away. Alright, one time that was a pillar like that was like a teleport. Alright, big black door. Big black door. Here we go. Guys, I don't want to be here right now. I don't want anything to do with this. You know what? I had an idea. We're gonna just play some funny. That's not funny. How do I? Monster. There. All right. Is that working? It is. All right. Cool. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. What the hell is happening? Oh, good. It's still the scary music. Is this the original courtyard? Or the original? Is this the courtyard? From the... No, because there should be signs out here. I don't like how the game actually can teleport you like that. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is a secret third courtyard. What? Okay, so I found this. And where is it? There's got to be something else out there. Oh! Oh. Am I here? No, wait. I don't know where I'm at. Shocker. Wait, no, yeah, I do. There's the boo. Alright, hold on. I kind of know where I'm at. I need my cats to not make sounds behind me while I'm playing this game. There's one above it. I'm not going to no fucking boo place. Screw that. Back to the crack room. Yeah, I wanted to get back here. So this time I know not to kill that boo. I'm in the same area, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this was... Oh, no, I know where I'm at. Your icon changed back to Mario. Why did it do that? Okay, so all these are going to be locked. Fuck me. They're not locked anymore. Excuse you? Excuse you? Wait, no. This is where I was, right? So I went in the star door. And then I turned back around because I can't do this yet. So then I went back up. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, this is where I wanted to... All right, something new. We're back. Wait, no, wait, what? This is the castle. They were not locked. I don't... Can you hear the distant... Thanks, Toad. I we're gonna stay here for a second. Yeah, we're just gonna stay here for a second. Oh, that was cool. No, this is cool. No, this is awesome. No, this is great. This is fucking amazing. I wanted to check the spotlight. Okay. I remember being here. Okay. I think I want to stay here. I guess let's go back this way. Even more crack rooms. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the crack rooms. Okay. The game wanted me to see this. More cracks. That's just wall texture. Okay. So here's the stairs from the first castle, or the like actual games castle. Hey, it's just the upstairs to the castle. I don't like the music, but infinite staircase leads to a door now. Or I guess a door in a hole. No, I was here earlier. No! No. Okay, we're going in the hole. I was in there earlier. Are you kidding? It's Bowser! Wait, you know what? Hang on. I got an idea. Because if I die, I think it takes me to the red one consistently. That's game over. I forgot about game overs. The lives counter in my back pocket. I don't want to go to that one. There's like one painting I'm intentionally avoiding because I'm freaked out by it. What happens if I go back in? Takes me here. Can I jump at the Bowser painting? No, good. Wait. So I went this way? This room is here. Okay, I think this is actually where I want to be. Is this a level? This is a level. I'm okay on levels right now. I don't think they're that important. Like overall, I don't think they're that important. Like I've not been told like, explicitly to get, like, a certain amount of lives. Or, I'm sorry, a certain amount of, Shit, we're back here. Wait. No. Go back. Go this way. Let's see. Is the door there? No, it has to teleport me. Okay, cool. Whatever. You know, as long as it actually does and doesn't do anything dumb. It did not do anything dumb, chat. Update. It took us somewhere I thought it would. We're back at the secret third courtyard. Write this down. It's gonna be on the test later. Okay. I think I now know how to consistently get here. Like, I couldn't tell you how, like, verbally, but I definitely could, like, tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you. I could show you. Like, I could walk there, I think. If I'm not, like, focusing. I think is the best way I can say it. Alright, can't go in the one spot. Alright, just up this time. There's nothing else here. Yeah, I'm sorry, other room. Wait, no. Wait. Okay, it opens. Please take me to the same spot and don't be dumb. All right, chat. We're slowly getting better at this. What are you two doing? My cats are just tearing through the house right now. This is not it. That's also not it. This is behind? I'm just going the wrong way. There's just so many doors.
Hey chat, can you believe Weebu is this bad at Mario 64?
I'm not! Alright, this is the room where there's a star off to the side. So now I need to go just straight. I think? Yeah. No. Yeah, this way. Oh my fucking god. Alright, I took a wrong turn. I admit that. I don't know what any of that is, though, so we're just gonna leave it alone. I think it's that door back there that I just saw. Coming back. Stand in one of those? One of these? No, you know what? Let's just go for it. Woo! I can't. I'm not gonna be able to get out. Weebu scared me more than the game. Yeah, I can't get out. I guess I die. Okay. Alright. This way. Alright, we're going back to the Peach Castle. I was not expecting that. This is not it. Okay, what am I missing? Why am I missing? So I go that way. I'm like, no, that's not the right door. Oh, here we go. I am negative lives. That's a good sign. What is that? Oh, it's a clam. Is that a giant eel? I hate. Weebu hates. Oh, thank God the shark can still live and do stuff. Oh, there's a star. At the end of that eel's tail. Hold on. Come on, get that last jump in. You suck. Ah! Of course! I've been bamboozled, chat. I don't think I should have lowered the water level. Nope. The camera's also not playing nice with me. Wait, what if I... Can I get up there? No. Can I wall jump? Alright, now hold on. No. Shit. Alright. New plan. Going back to the clams. Shark. I did see the shark. I'm just not sure how I can jump up on him. It's not a real star. Alright, I can't do it with that one. I can't jump on them, right? No. Yeah, no. Yes, hello, Trip Trip. Hiya, Bobby. Can I... L is real! Based! Also, hello, Skywalker. Welcome to the Weebu stream of Boo. Alright, I cannot do anything with the Sharkaboo. I guess I'm just gonna leave. You know what? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's put on our big pants. We're gonna go to that one painting. If you're Mario, you can easily make that jump. I mean, that's not true. All right, come on, Trip. Hey, get down, buddy. Get down, bubbies. Get down, bubbies. All right. I've been dreading this the most, but I missed. Can I make that, or do I have to go down from there? Oh no, I can get up this way. Went this way? No. Well, that is a way. That's something I could do. Nope. God damn it. Okay, it was the one right there. Oh, it's the invisible hat. Okay, okay, that opens up some things. Magic hat, magic hat. I missed the coin. I don't care about the coin boxes. See? Because I got a star right here. Okay. So. Okay. I gotta think. I have to go. Hold on, chat. Hold on. If I go this way. This takes me here. Then we go back inside. We should have like 2 things we can do now. I just don't know which one we want to do. This one? This is the part where I'm lost for a second, so hold on. So there's now, so from what I understand, there's now probably 4 castles? That's how I interpret it, at least, is that there's 4 castles. Okay. I don't remember where the courtyard is. I think it's the other way. But this is definitely a thing we can do first. This is the first one I stumbled across. Base, let's go. All right. Now what? What do we do? What did that accomplish? All right. Don't want to do anything in the water yet. We'll come back to the water. There's so many pictures of Bowser everywhere. A pug! A black room! Oh, I'm so happy to be in a black room. Oh! A fifth castle! Well, ain't this just a pickled fucking beach? Alright, that does nothing. Oh, good. Fake doors. Not that one, though. What? Fuck. Oh, come on. Oh my god! Alrighty then. How epic was that, chat? God, I really wish I had save states. I really wish I was actually using save states right now. Okay, I want to get to the courtyard. That's what I want to do. This way? Yeah, so past all these guys. I also want to... Oh. There's no... Okay, well. Not that way, I guess. I thought that was the... It's this way. Big crack in the room. Maybe it is just the other way and I'm just being dumb. Alright, we're just gonna go straight to the door. Here we go. All right, cool, 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 cool. Wait, no. Shit, no, this isn't it. Shit, where's it at? Not that one. Am I just misremembering where that courtyard is at? Dementia Boo. It's not Dementia Boo. Oh, hey, door. Probably level. It's alright. Alright, I guess we'll just go back and do this again. Because I have something else I want to try in that peach room. Yo, what? Hold on. Hold on, chat. I got an idea. Just do this real fast. I wanna... There we go. System... how do I do save states on here? Control S and Control L. Alright, it's not working. I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna try and set up save states, but I can't. All I'm saying is you'll get lost in castles while playing Barn Finders. That's not a selling point to Barn Finders. That ain't the W you think it is, Oshi. Okay. Common Weebu L is not. There's a whole water spot back there too. Fuck. Sunset paint? Hang on. So I got an idea. Because I can... Excuse me. This isn't what I want. Wait, yeah. No, yeah, it is. I wanted to go that way. And then turn around and I go this way. Real quick, do these do anything? What about this one? Alright. Nope, okay. I'm gonna jump over the hole. Unless there's an invisible wall. You're finally here. Enjoy this delicious cake as I promised. Well, I don't like this. I don't like this, chat. God damn it. Son of a bitch, chat. Alright, what's this? Still don't want to do levels. Because this like I said, I'm pretty sure this castle is the bread and butter of this entire thing. I think the levels are just like distractions to the castle. Okay. You know, fuck it, I'll try it. Of course, the one painting I decided to go in, and it's this underground music, and it's underwater. I am so sick of water levels at this point, chat. Alright, hold on. Thank you for the stretch redeem. I appreciate it. Alright, it's just a pocket of air. Is this just a room? Is there nothing here? Like it. Right. Can't do this. Nope. Oh! How cool. How thoughtful. I'm glad the level keeps changing. Fast travel back, I guess. Okay. I can't jump on the Bowser painting, right? Yeah, no. No vanish cap. At least none that I saw. Why does this sometimes take me to Bowser, and sometimes it doesn't? Well, it's fine, because this is what I wanted to do anyway. I'm gonna find this damn courtyard. And I swear it was in this, like, underground section. Was it past? No, because this is a fucking invisible mirror now. I'm losing my mind, chat. I'm losing my flipping. Okay. Okay, what about this? Oh, this is just... Okay, so this is this. Base. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's go. Cool, 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 cool. No, we're back! We're back here! God damn it! Wait, are we back? Wait. Son of a bitch, where am I? Another. Oh wait, no. This is the mirror room. Is it the same mirror room? Okay, we're back at the beginning. Okay, hold on. Let me think. So I go this way. I go back. Hold on, I might have set myself on the right track. I feel like that cake room, like, we need to go back there for sure. Oh, don't tell me I'm back. No, wait, no. Right, okay, hang on, hold up. Here we go. Okay, this is, I just forgot to go this way. This is what I was trying to find before. So. No, wait, not this side, the other side. Right? Yeah, the other side, right? There was a switch? To the right. Hold on. So, let me turn around. Oh, this one? So I don't see the red switch, I see... Yeah, it was a block. This, though... oh, what the hell? Go away. Where's that one spot? Let me double check this room before I, like, leave. No, okay. So that red block has to go for a flying cat. I swear, though, there was another section that needed an invisible cat. Hey, I see that. Oh, it's just probably texture. Yeah, alright. Alright, let's try a different door. Back here in this hall of doors. Let's just try this one. 4 in from the right side. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Fuck all this. Just one more. Is this the wrong way? Yeah, no, I want to go the other way. All right, I'm going to try and get back to Peach's cake room. And I might meddle with, all right, yeah, it's the back door. I might meddle with the save state thing again so I can do some more tests. That's the hardest part right now is the fact that all the, every time I experiment and die, I have to go all the way back. I do like that it's just infinite lives now, apparently. So, this way. I also don't remember where the sunset room is, Shy. I'm sorry. All right. I'm pretty sure it's more like 225 lives from -1. I mean, still, that's essentially infinite lives for the purposes of what we're doing. No way I can just jump in there. All right, that's what I thought. Wait, will this... Okay, sometimes we've gone in and, like, doors just lead to different places. All right, that's the sunset painting. All right, let me see if I can... Actually, I'm going to use the restroom, and then I will figure out the save state thing. Because I don't get why... Yeah, Control S and Control L is what it's supposed to be. But I don't understand. I don't understand, chat. So I had a thought. I just remembered. There is a game or a video series that did like Mario 64 stuff. It was like all fake, and it was supposed to be like the whole thing of every copy is personalized. But they like their whole thing was they had like a playable version that you could mess around with. Yeah. It was like called the the Undercastle or something. It was like something along those lines. And the guy made a whole thing. And that's what I'm getting the vibes of from this, with the whole castle just being huge and doors just leading to more doors. And maybe it's the same guy who made it. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that is why that won't work. Shit. Save state and load. Wait. Save state. Load state. Load state. Okay. Wimpter in the chataboo. Hello. Okay, so let's go back to full screen. So F5 is save. F7 is load. Cool. All right, so let's now we can be a little bit more we're a little bit more forgiving of what we're doing. It's another fucking water level. Summer 65 build. I don't think it's him. But yeah, I love these. I love the beta Mario ARG things. Alright. There's a star. That's just gonna take me back to the beginning of the level though, right? Yeah, okay. So that's just the level. What's down here? Why the font look like Super Mario 64 DS levels of pixelated? Because it's using all of the beta fonts. Shattuck, hello! Or Rose. I remember someone with the name Rose didn't like being called Rose, and someone with the name Rose did enjoy being called Rose. Either way, hello. Welcome to the Weebu stream. It's been a hot second. How are you doing, Abu? I hope you're having a marvelous Monday. Yes. It's just a Bowser. I don't like that the textures are fucked up there. Okay, can't jump in the Peach painting. Weebu beta confirmed. No! I teleported again? No, I didn't. I've been here. I came here. I don't want to go on a level. I want to keep messing around. What's this? Chad, it has been a hot second. So that's the. Okay, that's not a. Huh. I bet that's another bullshit. Get a mystery hat. Is that the only thing over here? No. There's this whole area. Alright, so Shattuck is Shat. Alright, cool. Okay. We're in another castle. Because this is different from the other castle that we went in, because there's nothing shining down on us. Okay. That's a fake door. Fake door? Are these all fake doors? Probably except for the front door? Yeah. I'm gonna try the Peaches slide one, but I would guarantee that it's probably a fake door. Yep, alright, so... front door it is! I teleport again? God damn it! Yeah, I did! I'm Back here. I mean, I have a save state this time. Son of a bitch. Yeah, all right, we're going back. Can't jump in the Bowser. That's all I always try and jump at Bowser and Peach. Because I feel like those are, like... How am I playing as Luigi? I'm Luigi. This is also a, it's a ROM hack. So it gave the option to play as Luigi. Alright, I'm not gonna say... Because I'm pretty sure these are all fake doors. Like, I can't go in any of these. Man, these fences are awesome. I tell you that right now. Alright, so in this door. Actually, you know what? Let's... As much as I don't wanna... We're gonna make a save here. And we're gonna go into the Peach thing one more time. There's no secret there. There's no secrets there. What's a ROM hack? So you take a ROM of a game, like a Sega Genesis game, a Mario game, whatever, and there's like tools that usually let you edit ROMs to make your own game. Ow. Alright, how did I get up there before? I saw a giant star, and I don't know why that gave me a heart attack. Yeah. What if I can't. Okay. Alright, so I just need to... I literally don't remember what I did before. Wait, is this a wall? Can I just... No. Nope. Load. Okay. I guess this way? Yep. Door for now. Oh, we're back here. Okay. And Toad's gonna say, can you hear him screaming or something? Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're back. And we looked up last time, right? Yeah, I looked up here already. Well, all right, so there's two places that can teleport me back here. Yeah, all right. I don't like how fast the boos move there. All right, let's not go upstairs, but let's go back into here. And let's go down. You're not worthy. Collect 30 stars. Wait, does the other Bowser door work then? I thought none of the Bowser doors worked. Before we explore the basement, let's see what happens if I go to the other Bowser door. Because that only takes 8 stars to get in. And Peach's slide. You have to play the levels? I know I have to play the levels, but... Do I want to save? No, because I can get back here easily. Can I just jump past it? No. Shit, alright. We did that already. Yeah! Yeah! Alright, Peach's slide. That's what I want to try next now. You're mine now. I'll pass. This ain't Peach's slide. This ain't Peach's slide. I just wanted Peach's slide. Where am I? We don't want to be in Spooky Land. You just slid. That's not what I mean. It's the graveyard. I don't like it. Mostly because I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for here. This is where Luigi lands in the movie. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the slide. The only things I'm ever worried about are the stupid teleports. Alright, we gotta start. Okay. It's gonna take me to the beginning, though. We're gonna load. I want to do one more experiment down there. And I don't want to, like, walk all the way back here. Because the underground exists. That upper floor, or the upper door, I'm sorry, takes me to like a whole other section that I don't want to go back to right now. What's up, Toad? Placeholder, cool. So this is like the castle. That's Mips. Gotta catch the Bumpy. Uh-oh. Got him. Unhand me. Ouch. Take it then. A gift from Koopa. It was now. Let me be. Yeah, I'll save. Now, if I was smart, I would try and do no or mip skip. I'll save now. Brib. I believe you mean Bribby. Oh, hey, this is the sand level. Luigi mugged the bun. I did not! Technically. Oh, God, that is terrifying. I hate that. I don't like any of his textures. The beta one, the one in the game. They're all awful. So this would lead to here. And there's another toad down here. I don't know if he's still here or not. The princess is still lost, just like you. Please help. Awesome. That's how Weebu sees me when I tell him to play Barn Finders. I feel that cake has got to be a part of it. I feel like that's too well hidden. I don't know if hidden is the right word. It's just too well not here, like, or not obvious. I feel like it's important. If I tried eating it, I couldn't. Unless that's just a big phony. Okay, those are already down. So where does this door take me? I don't like that I can't see in front of me. It's probably gonna be another stupid scare. It was not a scare. Alright, I guess I'll take that. Why did I get 18? Alright, we're starting to get back into the, what the fuck do I do? I'm still shocked that there's no, like, actual secrets out here. Did I make a save? I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat. Hear me out. I want to test something. I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna try to cheat, I guess is the better way of saying this. There are no cheats. Okay. Yeah, I can't cheat. However, chat wants to look at that. I cannot cheat. Cheetah Boo is afraid of getting caught. I wasn't afraid of getting caught. I am going to... Why is the camera zoomed in? I zoom in it. I'm gonna go in here because this is where the toad said the one thing. So I'm gonna see if this has anything to do with that. You have reached an incomplete area. Turn off your system now. Okay. So this is definitely a spot I want to be. This is the first... That's the first level to just spit me out after I die. Okay, don't grab the pat. Oh, it just kills me. Hold on, I'm gonna try. Alright, there's a sign. I want to try and read the sign. And then I give up. You have reached an incomplete area. Turn off your system now. No! Huh. Interesting. It's okay. I do go by the she, her. It's just not something that I really get to work on a ton as much as I really want to. That's my goal. I've had to push it back a lot, but it is one of my goals for about next year to try and start presenting more as proper self. I'm gonna try and work on voice training also, at some point, whenever I get the chance to. I'm probably not gonna be able to cheat this. Yeah. So... make save. I want to see if I can do anything else out here without just getting taken back to, the fountain on accident. It doesn't look like I can. There's another box out here. It's just coins, though. Oh, there's that. Can I get up there? Well, thank you, Breb. I appreciate it. It's got to be possible to get up there. Nope. Shit. Sleepy Bimgle here. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, it's empty. Awesome. That was all that work for nothing. Bimgle internet. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch, game. Alright, reload. So going out that way is just gonna teleport me. What's out the castle doors? I agree also, Trap-a-boo. Do not Trap-a-boo. Alright, I didn't have that animation before. So it's probably still gonna take me to the same spot though. So... more crack grounds. So let's not go... Oh, cool. Ah, cool. People calls Bimgle mean what? What do you mean? I did not. Bimgle internet. Bitch. I did not call Bimgle bitch. Ah. Going one of these? Yeah. No. What about the other one? What about there? What the fuck is this? Alright, hold on. I'm curious. So if I went back, do I like Boomer Shooter? I do like Boomer Shooter. We're gonna explore again before I possibly call this a stream. This is really cool though. Honestly, this is awesome. Weebu's a boomer. I'm not a boomer. There's still so many places that I haven't gotten to go to yet. Because it's just so huge. When Weebu Duke Nukem stream? I don't know, Boo. I have the Doom VR stream that I want to do. Which is why I was asking for Doom WODs. I think I went that pipe. No, I didn't. I have not gone in that pipe. Because I was like, oh, shadow pipe. No, thank you. But we'll go. Well, despite my rage, I'm still just a free man. I can't get in there. Make a save, screw it. So what's this way? Oh, do I need to be a speed? No, I don't. Say, do I need to be speedy? But I guess I could just. Wait, is this Dire Dire Docks? This looks like the spot for Dire Dire Docks. Like this looks. No, I think I'm wrong. Wait. Save. Okay, now I can go this way. Don't want to do levels right now. Is Whipple's Windmills? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm winning right now. I really don't know what's happening. I stepped away from it. It get wacky? It's been wacky! Can you have multiple save states? I can. What happened? I'm back here. Son of a bitch. Alright, what's this way? I can have multiple save states, but I have to, like, go out of full screen, I think. Alright, so that's just that way. Gotcha. Maybe. Yeah, no, I'm in the same spot. I ignored you. I didn't mean to ignore your Weebu. Shit. So, okay. So both of those doors just lead there. Where's this door lead? There's a moon. There's Peach. What's in this door? I'm so lost, chat. Ah, yes, the piss room. Oh, shit, no. Do not laugh! I think I've been here. I think it was just way earlier in the stream, but I think I've been here. This hack is as liminal as people think the game is. I'm so turned. I am too. I'm so turned around. I love it though. I love liminal space. I think it's so unique. All right, hold on. Bowser. All right, I think this is where I want to be. And not this way? Because both of those... Yeah, both of these double doors just take me back to the castle. Lost a boot. I'm not lobster boot or They keep putting this... Hey, Trip. They keep putting this L as real texture everywhere. Wibbles is real. So true, bestie. It teleported me again, chat. L is real means liminal is real. True. I'm gonna die. I'll take it. Oh, it's Little Big Land. Alright. It's not Weebu's home! Oh, well, that sucks. There's a star up there. I'm not gonna make that. Well, it was a good run, chat. What? I'm back outside the castle? You know what? I know where I can go. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Why is there a door here? Can I go in it? I don't know how to drain the lake because I can't get to the basement to drain the lake. Yeah, I can't use the door. Which either means that door got put in... Oh no, it's that door. Oh, I can't go in there anymore. Yoshi still out here? No, the sign's gone too. All the doors are gone to the castle. Door machine broke. Do I have to go in that one spot? Is the front door also gone? The hack is falling apart. It's not... Okay. I'm gonna save. Okay. Where's the door? Okay. We're gonna go... I don't want to go back in the one spot, but we're gonna go back in because it's a different area. Yoshi went back to work on Final Fantasy. Oh, I can't. This is so weird. What is this image? There it is. Great. I forgot it does that. Alright, well. Back to the import. I guess we're just going inside. That's so wacky that all the doors are gone. Everywhere else, I guess, at least. If I look up, what it'll do. Alright, I don't want to do that. I was experimenting. We're in Castle 2 right now, I think. If my memory is correct on how this castle works. This will take us back here. Make sure, okay. Found a better one. Is it the same image? That's how I feel. This image is how I feel every fucking second. Alright, so I don't know. I guess I could do the cake thing again. I mean, I'm not going towards the cake thing, but I know how to get there. Yeah, that's that. I was trying to think of what the song was earlier, and I couldn't remember. There's gotta be a secret. It's Wolfenstein 3D. There's gotta be something else in here that's not just the hallway of doors. I guess take it back. There doesn't have to be, but I feel like there is. Because these all lead to the same place. Yeah. I know, okay, hang on. I know another spot we could try. I don't think I've done anything up in this one area. I want to get back to the normal castle because there's a Bowser area I haven't gone to yet. Am I in the normal castle? Yeah, okay, this is the normal castle, I think. The sky's not, like, white like it was before. I'm slowly starting to understand, I think, how, like, different areas work. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of areas. Okay, so we did the invisible cat, which was this front one. Yeah. So there's this spot, which we did earlier. We did a little bit earlier. So this is the only spot in this basement I haven't been, that I wanted to do. Oh, of course, all these little... There's areas for these areas. Great. Screw it, we're just going to the pipe. It's out in the black void again, because I love going out to the... I'm looking at the wiki for the ROM hack. Alright. Yeah, I'll take any guidance. Since I'm not entirely sure where I need to be going or what I need to actually be doing. Internal sewer system. Built by the Koopa crew. Our sub didn't fit in this pathetic castle, so we had to make some more space. Ha ha ha. Do you care for minor spoilers? Just the names of where you've been? No, that does not bother me. I'm not like, I wouldn't be too mad at a little backseat gaming. Do you think, what do you think will win? A level 100 Beetle or 125 Buick? I'm gonna go with the Buick. Okay, that's water. Big area. Big spacious area. Lots happening. Just make a circle. Yes? No? Yes? Save? Oh! This spot! This didn't do anything for me but trap me. Okay, I know where we're at, because I remember doing this earlier. So when you die in most levels, you're taken to the Plexel lobby. Okay. I hear you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Plexel lobby. So I'm back in this area. Which I don't know is actually going to be anything. The only level where I died shy that I didn't go back to the Plexel lobby was the one where it's Hazy Maze Caves entrance in the what's like the normal castle. That's one of them. You managed to die in quite a few places and not go there. Wait, the red place is not the Plexel lobby? Fuck it. Save. Oh, alright. The red place is the Plexel lobby. Okay. This castle is exclusive to... Okay, good. We got that message. Oh, I hate their textures so much. Okay, that was all on me. That was all on me. I gotta be honest. Before I go do that again, what's over here? Big court area. Big maze. Also, I did not mean to ignore. I'm sorry. Shattuck. The Volkswagen won only because I'm driving the Volkswagen. Fair. We've got this. I committed uninstall. True. All right. Can I get over the wall? Shoot. Nope. Okay. Worth a shot. Oh wait, I can go this way. Good. Oh, I thought that was gonna be like another spot I could get lost in. Alright, so that's all that is. That's fine. So there's like 4 doors here? There's a lot of doors here. Not this. Apparently not here. That's the maze. These all take me to the same spot, or are they all different? Great, they're all different. Okay, not there. Alright, fat load of nothing. Cool. I would not mind, Shy, if you're listening and looking at the wiki, I would not mind a somewhat kind of direction if you can provide one. To the best of your ability. So only one spot actually took me to a, only one of these doors took me to a level. Yeah, everything else is just bogus here. As long, I guess I should preference, as long as you don't want to look up spoilers too. If you don't want to like know anything, that's completely fine. I won't make you like, I won't make you hold my hand through this. My only goal, I guess I have, is getting 30 stars. Because then I can try and open that one door. But I think it's just gonna take me to the same Bowser level. Okay, go back to the castle grounds. Okay. Castle grounds. At the front of the moat, there's a small hole. Oh, hey. There's a couple small holes. I'll go down this one first. If I can, holy shit. No. It's the sewer system again. Okay. I'll go down the one below it. And then if that's not... Oh, that was correct? How about this one? Alright, I'm gonna... Just because I wanna satisfy my curiosity real fast. I wanna see what's down here. Okay, that's just that. Okay. Back to the internal sewer system. There's 2 ways to go. I guess, actually, you know what? Let's explore the maze till you find a room with a checkerboard pattern. I thought I saw that, but I'll explore the maze. We'll go this way first. Wait, no, yeah. Hang on, hold on. So, I know, I kind of remember. Hang on. So if I go back this way. So I believe that way is just going to take me to the locked area where I can't get back out. Wait, no. Uh-oh. Wibble's committed a wrong. A wib crime, if you will. Yes. Very true. The McWib. I want a McWib. Can I swim up here? I can. Can I get out of here? No. Hold the phone. Quick save often. This is a safe spot. I know I can quick save up here. I don't know if I can actually make this jump. Can't. The McWib is back in McWibbles. True. Oh, this is just nothing. So is it that painting? I don't think that painting actually is correct. I'm gonna try it because I quick saved anyway, so I'll be fine. The floor is black and there's a checkerboard in the middle of the room. So not this. Not where I am at currently. Leads to the orange hall. Of course! The orange hall. How could I be so silly? There's nothing over here. There's a shell. Can you do anything with the shell? Okay. Back down. Where's it? No, I can't do anything with the shell. This just leads me to this part. And I need... Now I'm trapped. I believe. Yeah. So... Hold on. I got down here with a invisibility cap one time. I just don't remember how I did that. Because now that's... I can't get it that way. And I'm trapped in here. What version of the ROM hack is this? There's multiple versions? Hold on. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. 0.7? It's version 0.7. That's the newest one. All right. I have an idea. Hear me out. Don't yell at me. Wait. I'm thinking, because I can't. There's like nowhere else to go. There's nowhere like maze in this area. Am I going back towards the? I think I am. Okay. I feel like, and I might be wrong, I feel like I could do something in the orange hallway, and that's what gave me the option to go down here with an invisibility cap. So I'm gonna not save, and I'm gonna look around real fast. Hey, Bubby. Hey, Trip Trips. Alright. Well, this is, not what I wanted. You gotta go get coffee? Okie dokie. Trip, knock it off. The message only appears if you haven't gotten maps here. Here? Nips is... I don't know why I thought that was a block. I got Mips in the castle. Like, or one of the castles. Uh-oh. Okay. Back to this. Alright. There's multiple MIPs in the base game. Yeah, I figured there's probably multiple MIPs in the ROM hack also, but MIPs only shows up if you like have a certain amount of stars, like in other areas. Alright, okay, so don't jump up there. And this is probably also not correct. You know what? Hold on. Let's not get too far. Let's see if I teleported. I did not. We're just looking real fast. Trying to get my bearings on where I was to get that invisibility cap. Is that a... Huh. This is definitely not correct. Oh, you son of a bitch. No, this is right. I'm still here. That was Beta Lobby D? I'm getting a bit distracted, but I'm just... There's so many spaces to go. Got him. Yeah, we're back here. I don't want to be back here. Oh, wait, that's under the castle. I know where that is. the right area? Wait. Oh yeah, no, this way. Yeah! Shit, no, 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 no. This is where... Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm not gonna save. Or I might make a copy of the save. I don't know yet. Because this was... Hold up, chat. Hold up. Shit. Shit. Why is this fucking Bowser? Okay. Nope, that's the trap. So I need to go back here. I like that there's just a bunch of shit up there that you, like, can't see. Okay, that's this system. Okay, so then if I go to system, okay, I've now got a second thing set up, so I can go back to the one place and make saves without an issue. I swear I have to be thinking of the right thing. So we can go this way. Actually, we can go this way. Alright, so not down the hole. That's a block to get into that area. I don't want to stray, like, too far. I'm straying too far. Alright, I'm not a fan of the bricked up... Wait, what happened? Back in the shitty lobby. How did I... Is it possible that you... Like, I don't even know how far back in the stream I was to, like, go back to through my footage and watch when it happened. Make sure I'm also not thinking about, like... Oh, yeah, not that. There's no way I could be thinking of, like, somewhere I jumped in here. You're as lost as I am. This thing is massive. Okay, that's that area. We're in the back rooms and we live here now. Very true. So true, bestie. What if I swim down? What if I just go this way? Welcome to Mario Wonderland. If you're adventurous sort, the castle ahead. You son of a bitch. I was in the Plexel basement. Through a one-way. Hey, get down. Damn it. Knock it off. I wonder if this, like, trip docks Weebu's name. Weebu, true. You know what? I'm gonna look up. I'll look up on the wiki, because I'm curious. I'll see if I can get my bearings. B3313 wiki. List of plot points? Is that what I want to do? I'll go to list of areas. We'll start there. Okay, I can't even read the map. I can't read it. It's too small. Go away. To the first plot point on the list. Hang on. In the scary sewer maze... I won't go down too far. I'll try not to, like, show off stuff. Oh my god, there's a bad ending. There's multiple endings. Fuck off. Venturing in the maze. How do you get there? I don't understand, like, the instructions here. Trip abuse. It's not trip abuse. Here. We'll skip that one. We're gonna go to this one. I don't wanna... In the cryptic hideout? What, Trip? It's not that bad, buddy. I literally filled your food and your water. No, I didn't. Your water's out. That's probably actually why you're bothering me. I apologize. Give me 1 second, chat. There we goes. There we goes. Alright. It's not with views. It's not like they didn't have water all day. There's so much that I'm trying to. Oh yeah, so when talking to them, we're doing all the different things. It's not with views. I'm gonna try and figure out how to get here. The bomb at the door. Oh, wait! No, I was here! No! I literally was here! I remember the bomb saying that! Fuck! Shit. We were there, chat! Weebu, no ad block in 2023. No, laugh. Yeah, so I do have ad block. It's up there. It's just not working. It's just not doing anything. Full screen. See ya, boo. Goodbye, Rose. Goodbye, Shad. Thank you for stopping by the stream, boo. I really appreciate you being here. I don't even know how to get back to that fun house. This sucks. This is so creative. Your chat window is blocking the visible add-ons. Oof. I'm gonna. Well, that was. Hold on. I want to talk to that bomb buddy. So this probably won't be something I complete on stream. Different paths, different images. Aren't you happy knowing that he's free now? Okay, so funny that I was here for him. I'm gonna try and get back to the funhouse, but that was one that well, let's see. It's fine. Abu. Okie dokie. I will keep that in mind. Wait, this is the castle. Okay, I'm back in the Plexel. I don't want to be here. Alright, I lied. I don't know where I'm at anymore. This is new. I'm back outside the castle. Okay. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can find the funhouse or something new. And then that's probably gonna be where I call it, considering it's almost 9 o'clock for me. I don't think, so I was gonna say earlier, I don't think I'm gonna pick this back up. I feel like there's a lot to do, and I feel like there's a lot more to this than, not that I'm willing to put up with, but more than I'm willing to, try and discover on my own, considering how many, parts of the wiki there were. So, I will definitely leave this up to, if you guys are interested and want to see or play it yourselves to figure out stuff, you know. You can always do that. You can also always, you can also always look up a video, because I remember the video that I saw, I stopped watching because it was like, oh, go into this blind and try and figure out stuff. And I tried. I should have saved before jumping in here. More than fair, the game, it does. I mean, it seems like it's definitely one that was like made with the intent of having people get into it and try and dig deep and all this other stuff. But right now, I don't think I have that ability to be able to find this kind of stuff. I did spend way longer on this than I thought I would, but okay. That sucks. You know what? Was I... Alright, here's what I want to know. This is probably going to be the end of it. Was I onto anything with the fucking cake? Faye the Eels, actually, hang on. We did to this. There's a star floating in nothingness. However, a player gets too close, it disappears. They're attacked by an eel. As the double door, the only way back out is inaccessible due to marine waters. It's implied that this trap is illustrating the state of helplessness and constant deception that the brothers have to face while in the domain of the personalized AI. Moreover, in the tunnel, several eels can be seen dead. Chronological relation to this area as the aforementioned event is unknown, regardless of the fact that these enemies Yeah, I agree. All right. Okay, so Yoshi in the courtyard. The void's there. Yellow switch. I did find that. I'll look at the toad statues. Okay, that's everything. So the cake was nothing. I spent so long finding that damn cake room, only for it to be nothing. In the castle, despite Yoshi appearing in Mario 64 specifically, he could be seen twice at the same time, both on the castle's roof and the courtyard. This could be the personalized AIs trying to confuse the brothers. So, good to see you again. You're escaping reality. Avoid breaking the fourth wall. Yay. Alright. The yellow switch, an element of the infamous Super Mario 64 iceberg, also appears, heck, 2 separate instances. Getting 100 coin star. Upon collecting ones, the player's star count increments by 4. Yeah, I saw that. All of them matching up with the star IDs in the overworld, specifically Toad and Mip stars. Additionally, you also secretly obtained the Bowser 2 key, but no key grabbing animation. Work on this vanilla lobby leading to the purple upstairs. Okay, so I found one of them. Toad statues. Several statues depicting Toad can be seen in the castle, the Genesis, and the Bowser floor. Those may have been powers that are most unaware. Huh. Alright, well. The cake was a lie. The cake was absolutely a lie, and I'm very mad about that. This is the last one that we got to. This empty variant of the Hazy Maze Cave is accessible jumping in the vanilla basement. When entering it, players agree by the message, "You've reached an incomplete area. Turn off your system." After that, nothing happens until about 4 seconds of the player standing still, which will result in the death by an invisible one-up mushroom. This suggests that the AI is being evil. Is an evil being who will kill the brothers if they peek into areas they shouldn't enter. Okay. Cool. I guess that's everything we covered, at least in the Orange Hall's secret. Well, most things are conveyed by the rest of the species. Possible interpretation. Is there anything else? Species, bomb iterations, Koopas, Fade the Eels. I think that's everything. Everything. I don't think we did anything else. Oh, this. Yeah, this castle is exclusive to the show. It's connected to a variety of worlds, so open the doors. Certain hub areas, this entry message from the 1995 available display if you haven't got Mips the Rabbit yet. It's unknown. No. Have you tried setting the M on Mario's hat to W for Wibbles? I have not. Anyway, though, that will be the stream. This is a very cool ROM. This is very interesting. I lied. I'm actually doing one more thing, and then we're going to be done. I'm going to do what I can to try and do anything in that cake area. There's got to be something. I refuse to accept that the cake area is nothing but an actual lie. The wake is a lie, and it makes me wangry. Although I do have, so I had another idea that I want to try. Okay, that's just a room. Alright, so that's nothing. They put Super Mario 64 in here. True. Real. Yeah, here's a Hazy Maze thing, so we did that. I feel in my bones that I'm close to where I was to get the invisibility cap going into that level. Fuck it. I'll take that. I'll take another star. I don't like how that painting looks. They're all kind of weird. Huh. Oh, huh. Hang on. Alright. Oh, it's like the Ice Mountain level, but it's snow. I'm sorry, it's grass. Uh-oh. Ouch. Is that a star? That's a star. All right, that'll be it. I can't go through anymore. My brain is fried trying to do this. This is super cool though. This is super awesome. If you guys enjoy, it's called B3313. If you guys want to try it, there's also videos online going over like all the stuff. But yeah, this has been a very fun stream. This is a very fun comeback. I do want to give you guys a quick Wibbles update. But I messed up on my schedule. I didn't mess up. Plans got changed, and I didn't realize. So Thursday I won't be streaming. Friday I will be streaming. I have a friend coming into town who will be here throughout the week, but won't be here over the weekend. So, and then they've got stuff going on that Friday. So we're gonna go see them, and we're gonna hang out with them for a little bit. And it'll be a fun time. I will have a good Weebu. Big shout outs today to Dieselman for following the channel, as well as to Oshi for all the bits. I really appreciate it. It means the world and more to me. I love you all to death. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Gosh bless. All that wonderful stuff. And don't forget to stay amazing, beautiful, and wonderful. I forgot my face tracking can't make the faces. Oh no.